it's 6:30. It feels far, far too early to be awake on a Saturday morning, but my fear is if I go back to bed and fall asleep, I won't wake up till about 10 or 11 o'clock, and then half the morning's wasted. So I'm just going to get on with it. So James and I have done some work in the garden, and the results of our work doesn't pay adequate tribute to the amount of work we did, I don't think. We've basically dug up and weeded one flower bed. We've gone through with a riddle and cleared a whole load of stones and random bits of roots, and then we've put planter tubs on the flower bed that we've just gone through and sorted out. The idea being that if the planter tubs are there, it will stop any new weeds or unwanted plants going through. Fingers crossed. And these are our tubs, which are going to contain potatoes, carrots, onions and shallots. Next step is to buy the compost. This is the junk we dug up. Plastic twine, I have no idea what that is. Quite a bit of glass and a button. Really random. But yeah, we always find glass. Don't know what it is about our garden, but we're always digging up glass. So as well as the glass, we also found several caterpillars which have been put onto leaves. Hopefully they're a little bit happier there. Now I decided I was going to wear a sun hat because it's sunny. It's a nice warm day today. So I went for this one on the basis that today should have been the London Marathon. And this hat is from the only marathon I've ever done. Took me 11 hours. True story. Now, this pile of green here, from here all the way down to here, those are all the weeds that we pulled out. And they're just sitting there waiting to be burnt at some later point in the year. We found in the past that if we leave them on the patio, then all that happens is that then start growing in the cracks between the stones and start reseeding, and it's just more of a mess to clear up, so we put them in this old bin. Also very pleased to report that this patch of blue weeds here is buzzing with bees. James said earlier he didn't think there was that many there until he started looking, and then he realised they were pretty much everywhere. He thinks he's seen 2, possibly 3 different species of bee here. I'm not sure how many I've seen today, probably about the same. But from where I'm sitting I can see 2 immediately to my right. One at the back. There's a hoverfly. Unfortunately, there's some blue bottles, which usually is an indication that there's fox poo somewhere. But yeah, it's just really lovely watching them. Mindfulness through bees. So some of this is going to be pulled up and replaced with wildflowers. So James and I were at a wedding last September, and the garden favours were packs of seeds that are to be planted for bees and butterflies. So some of these blue flowers are coming out once we've got flowers to replace them. But I am very keen, and have been for the last couple of years, that we have plants in here that the bees will feed on. Yet again, I'm being trolled by the bee fly. Inside with a drink, because did I mention it was hot out there? So when I woke up first thing this morning, that is the amount that I knitted. So these stitch markers, the ones from Yarnistry, the hands, I'm using as progress keepers, as well as reminding me which row I'm on. So the pattern is a repeat of row 3 and row 4, so I know that if I've got the stitch marker right next to the needle, then I'm starting row 3. If the stitch marker isn't there, I'm starting row 4. Just about to go do some baking in the kitchen. I was going to say in the garden. That doesn't make sense. And it sort of made sense to put my hair in a scarf just to keep it all back off my face. And I'm not sure how that looks. It's the European folk is kind of the look I'm going for, but I'm not sure I've quite achieved it. You know, apron, headscarf and baking bread wasn't quite how I saw my life panning out. Whilst the dough is resting, I'm now going to do a quick internet search on how to knead bread, because that was incredibly sticky. Not in a good way. So the instructions say to leave the dough in a warm place for half an hour, and the warmest place we can think of is our spare room. There's not really enough room on the windowsill because the bowl's quite big, so it's kind of hanging out on the spare room bed, as you do. Yeah, this is the before. Yep, that's definitely grown. It's had 35 minutes. The oven is now ready for it to be baked, so yeah, off we go. The instructions do not say anything about moulding it or kneading it or anything else, so it's just going to get basically flopped out of the bowl into the tin. Wish me luck. And this is the bread out of the oven.
It looks like a loaf of bread. It tastes like a loaf of bread. Well, I'm calling it a loaf of bread.